Welcome to Connections in the Chaos. I'm Sara.
I'm Jessica. This is episode 1, the real episode 1, non-pilot, called Right on Time, even when it doesn't feel like it.
All right. So our opening today, we're going to check in. Jessica, what are 1 or 2 words that describe how you're showing up today?
You know, as a caveat, like I always do, I had a couple, I don't know about that I would call it showing up today, but my check-in, I was just leaving it at that, is paradoxical and happy and sad, and then like separate group, selfish and thoughtful.
Oh, whoa.
Right? So I thought like paradoxical, that just sums it all up.
Yes, but you can't say that for every episode.
I know. I'll work on that.
But that was impressive. Wow. Selfish and thoughtful. I want to know more about that. Okay. How am I showing up? Or what are my 2 words to describe my check-in? Curious right now. Trying to lean into that skill. And grateful. Yeah. Curious and grateful. Do you want to say any more about selfish and thoughtful? You don't have to, but
I will try to do it in an appropriate way. So,
okay.
Being thoughtful of other people's wishes and balancing that with what I want in that can feel selfish because it's not in alignment with the wishes of others.
Yeah. Gosh, isn't that the paradox of being a mom and a woman and oh gosh,
Everything.
all the things. Yeah. Whew. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that. That was very appropriate.
Thank you. And how about yours? Curious and grateful?
Gratitude just comes back to this opportunity and making time for it, even when it's late at night and we're both tired. And it just, this week, my reflection has been a lot about staying grounded. And this is something that brings me there. So feeling very grateful for that. Curious is really a mindset that I lean into when all else fails. And when I feel like things are hard, curiosity helps me to stay grounded instead of flipping the lid. So, yeah, this week was a wild one, roller coaster. And
I
so
can relate to that.
maybe I'm not quite,
Curiosity.
maybe I'm not quite there yet, but I'm saying that I need to be. And that's like the red flag, like, pay attention, Sara. Be curious instead. What does Ted
I
Lasso
love it.
say?
Be curious, not judgmental.
Yep, that's where I'm at. Thank you, Ted.
Okay, the chaos report. Did you have a moment this week? And if so, I hope so, because that's what we're here to talk about.
Yes. Yeah.
Where you had to course correct, and was it big or small? And say more about it.
Yeah. So one of my course corrects that's coming up frequently these days, and it's something one of the things I'm trying to be most curious about is when my little girl is having big feels. It's very easy for me to get pulled into the big feel realm with her. And the course correct for me is taking my own deep breaths, using my own strategies, and trying to stay grounded and present in my moment and let her have her moment and just like calmly remind her of this amazing skills and strategies that she has. And I think the the course correct really comes from not taking the bait, or if I take the bait and we go toe to toe, toe to toe with a 9-year-old, that's not real pretty. I'm better than that. Um, is like we do a little rewind sound and we try again. I think you've actually heard that a couple times, but that's my course correct right now is trying not to get sucked into the big feels and bringing my own big feels to the party and instead staying calm, grounded, and neutral so that she can have her feels, but knows that, it's like co regulation, right? So knowing that I'm there calmly, sturdy, and I just remind her what she's capable of and the best way to get out of the situation. But yeah, so I think that's my course correct right now.
Thank you. When you figure
Yeah,
that out, please pass that along over here because
sure
I'm
will.
coming off fresh of a basketball tournament weekend where I had a lot of big feelings. At one point, I had on my hat, which is the hide my face hat, and then my
Yeah.
hood over my hat. And my dear friend, I looked over at her and she mouthed to me, "What are you doing?"
I am using my strategies.
I said, "I don't want to show my face." Um,
Oh,
And oddly, that wasn't even what I thought of as my course correct, although it was not a proud moment.
that's
Um,
okay.
yeah, there's plenty of those.
I love it.
Okay, so mine actually, what I had thought of was a lot less, let's see, less deep or whatever, but um, I was listened to the pilot episode one, not the real episode one,
Hmm.
and a few times and thought about things that I wish I had said or said differently. And so that's where I was thinking with my course correct this week. So although it may seem small in comparison to my basketball moment, it feels big because it's important for me to make sure that what I meant to say is what people understood. So two notes that I had were sounds silly, but I said the the Yukon kid, and
Yeah.
I don't like that. I wish that I would have said the Yukon player.
Yeah.
So that was one. And then the friendship experience when I said, like doctor's office, not accepting new patients, not accepting new friends. Obviously, we are accepting new friends. It
Yeah.
may not seem obvious to anyone who is listening. And then on that note, that I think this is true for both of us. We both have amazing friendships outside of our friendship.
Yes.
And
Truly.
I don't want to reduce or whatever those
Yeah.
friendships by saying how amazing ours is.
Yep.
So
I couldn't agree with that more. Yeah.
those
I
were,
think that's what happens when you work on yourself. You attract all the right people and you have really strong relationships. I also love that those were your course corrects because I feel like they speak to what I said about you in the pilot episode and the integrity that you have with the words that you choose and your honesty.
thank you.
So, way to bring it back.
Thank you. I guess
That's
honest
awesome.
in some ways, right? And then other
Yeah.
ways, I keep seeing that shirt at basketball games, which perhaps I should wear that says classy until tip off. And then just all my skills go away.
Mhm.
I
I
don't outwardly
understand.
show it because I hide my face with my
Yeah.
hat and my hood, but I have a lot of feelings in there.
Yeah. It's going to be a wild ride for you, my friend.
I
We're
know. And
just
we have,
beginning.
I know, but we have one more tournament this weekend and then we're done
Nice.
for the
That's
season.
great. And then we get into baseball and softball.
Yes, yes. Today was skills
Crazy.
assessment for the
My
boys.
goodness. It's like getting so grown. Skills assessment. What is that craziness?
I think, they do it because they try to because there's more than one team. So the
Right.
girls, they don't have to because
Yeah.
there's only one team.
Yep. Getting smaller by the day. Hmm. Crazy. All right. Are you ready for this week's thread?
I think so.
Okay, we're going to give it a whirl. The question we're going to use today is, what do you think has to be true inside you before the right timing on the outside even matters? That's a loaded question.
Whoa. And
Uh-huh.
I have to say that you just so much sounded like a teacher.
Did I?
Yeah,
Shoot.
I love it. No, I love it so much. Oh gosh. This maybe ties into another part of the course correct that I didn't mention. It's not really a course correct, but some background info from the pilot episode that so I think what needs to be true inside myself before the right timing on the outside even matters is self-awareness, which for me is like the very first part and the foundation of everything else really. Um but that goes to say that the timing of our friendship is, when it's supposed to be, but like I was not great. I had a lot of areas of development. If we were in high
Mm,
school together, probably even college, I don't think you would like me very much. Not to say what you would feel, but
yeah,
I wouldn't have liked me at all.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I think, um, if without that self-awareness and areas of development that I wanted to work on,
Hmm.
that nothing on the outside would have mattered. There would have been no growth, and who knows where I'd be. I don't
Yeah,
want to know. Yay.
yeah. Well, and I don't think that you were ever going to go down that path because this is what you were destined for. I believe in that. I really do. Um, I think,
How about, oh, yeah.
yeah. So, um, I was thinking something else, not totally different, but, um, I had mentioned to you just before we started this recording that, um, I don't know if kismet is the right word, but, when I met you, I was like beginning to lose my mom. And, um, it was like the universe just knew that I needed you, right? Like that this friendship was something, if I couldn't have her, then I needed you. I don't know. Is that weird?
I mean, that is the biggest compliment ever. I
Well,
probably for the first time ever am speechless.
well,
Um,
and she would love you. I think she does love you. It's like, you know,
um, I love her, and I was thinking of her yesterday, and I forgot to tell you this. I was deep in my box of Good and Plenty's,
yep.
walking through the doorway to the kitchen, looking down, reaching into the box, and crushed the mantle on my bicep, and I have a bruise like this big. But I thought, those Good and Plenty's.
Yep. And that's also something Cindy would have done as
Which
well.
so I noticed in our last in the pilot, some things we didn't like listeners might be like, what the heck are they talking about? So
Yeah.
do you want to share the Good and
Yeah, the good
Plenty?
and plenties. Yeah, just my mom loved every sweet treat that ever existed. I don't think there's one she didn't like. And good and plenties and anything black licorice, totally her jam. And the first time, well, when was that? Were we at Dave?
In
And you,
CVS or
yes, and you,
Walgreens,
Walgreens, yep. And you had gone in to get we went in to get football cards, I think.
probably.
And you came out with Good and Plenty as I was like, "No, that is not your choice." And you're like, "Yeah, why?" It's like, "That is my one of my mom's favorite candies." And yeah,
And you said, I
everyone's
need to text my dad.
yes. Yep. Yep. Yeah, just I don't know. It's just kismet. I love that word. It's one of those things. Just a little connection. The other day I walked into the staff room at school and maybe like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and on the table was a Ziploc bag of only black jelly beans. And I was like,
It's like my
Cindy.
dream.
Yes. Right. And I don't know many people who love Good and Plenty's or black licorice, and it's you and my mom. So silly. Yeah, I suppose the context of these moments is important for listeners because we're just in our moments. We don't need to explain them anymore to each other. An answer to this question was maybe not the one I was thinking for this week, and maybe mine's a little more related to yours in that, so self-awareness, yes. And I think in part, as I met you, I think taking this job as a principal has brought me so much growth as a human in so many ways. Communication being one of them, getting straight on what my values are, and the kind of person that I want to be. And I think that as you're sort of setting that course for yourself and deciding on what your values are, you're then drawn to places and people and moments that are the most authentic place you can be. Does that make sense? Yeah. And so, along with self awareness, I feel like the way I've grown in the last 4 years, it's like it must be what a caterpillar feels like when it's turning into a butterfly. Like, I think maybe it's a little painful, but also a little like, this is going to be great. If I could just get to the other part of this moment. But I can feel the growth more than I ever have in my whole life. And I think it's because I've been thrown into the fire in a lot of ways. And you have to, like, if you don't get straight on your values and what you believe in and who you want to be in those moments, I think you make some really poor decisions, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm an example of that. You said the caterpillar analogy. Is that an
Yeah.
analogy?
Yeah.
And I was thinking, yeah, I've had like crazy exponential growth too in the, last however many years. And maybe it's to make up for the lack of growth for many, many years or the slow pace
Yeah. Slow
of that
burn.
um, previously.
I love it. Yeah. So I don't know if that's too deep for this moment, but that's kind of,
No.
I think when your values align, when you can name them, which Brene Brown really taught me about, because I think people are like, oh, yes, I value this, but I don't know. I think we share our values with a great deal of hyperbole as people. And to really be clear about what they are, I think makes the difference in everything that comes next. So yeah, that's I think that's where
I
I'm
think
at.
so too. And the values, I like the saying that, and there's probably two that maybe I'm confusing them, but they both make sense to me. Show me what you spend your money on, and I will show you what you value, or show me what you spend your time on, and I will tell you
Hmm.
what you value.
Yep, I think that's true. And maybe that's why I like Sunday nights and Monday nights and recording nights for podcast time.
Yes, yes.
Good.
And
So
though
good.
the spending your time on reflecting on your values
Hmm.
and your experiences and where do you want that to take you?
Yep. And a willingness to try again when it doesn't quite course correct, right? When it doesn't quite fit. Have I talked with you about the movie The Adjustment Bureau?
I think so.
Oh
Like
my
from the
goodness.
90s or 2000s?
2000s, Matt Damon and Emily Blunt, who I
Okay.
adore. It's wonderful. Um, I
Oh,
don't want to
yes.
give it all away, but it's like there's
Yes, you did.
something out there destined for you, and the Adjustment Bureau is a group of people who, without your knowledge, will come if something takes you off course, off this path that you're destined to be on. They'll come and they'll course correct you and put you back on your plan without you realizing they even did it. Um, and I think of these moments like that, like, but we're our own adjustment bureau, right? Like reflecting
Yes, thank
about,
goodness, because I don't
yeah,
want someone else telling me my path. I don't really like to be told
correct.
what to do, so
Nope. And that's okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, and I won't give away the rest of the movie, but if that's how you feel, you'll really like it.
Yes, and
It's
I
good.
know I like, after you're saying this, it does come back, and I remember saying exactly what I'm gonna say right now. I need to go back to that. I
Mhm.
remember watching it long ago, but
Okay. Yeah.
it will land differently, you know?
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
I don't think I told you this. When I went to Puerto Rico on the
Mhm.
plane, I watched Pretty Woman
Oh.
and The Cutting Edge, and talk
Uh,
about landing differently as an adult watching those movies.
oh my god,
Oh
now I
my
need to go watch
gosh.
them.
Yeah, definitely.
It's been a minute.
We need a retreat where we just do that.
Sure. I think so. That
I
sounds
think we should
great.
make a list of movies.
I love it. And also, I don't know why, but I thought you were gonna say, like, you were on the plane and you sat next to Emily Blunt or Matt
Oh my
Damon.
gosh,
I
that
think
would be
maybe you would have told
amazing.
me that already, had that been
Oh,
the
yeah, from
case.
the plane.
Taking selfies. Um, I love it. I love it so much. Um,
Okay, you think
yeah,
are we good to move along
I think
on
so.
to the song lyric of the week? What comes to mind for you that may have described your week or how you're feeling?
So will it shock you if I say I was thinking about Brandy Carlisle? No, it
No.
won't. Um, Although I spent a lot of time this week listening to like Kaleo and shamelessly our podcast. um, but I will say there's a Brandy song called The Eye, and I think the song has maybe a slightly different meaning than this, but there's the main lyric is you can dance in a hurricane only if you're standing in the eye. And there is a very vivid picture in my brain of what that looks like, right? So in the chaos of life, if I can find the calm, quiet, grounded space, I see everything else, all the chaos around me differently. And kind of like what I was talking about when my girl's riding the emotional roller coaster and I'm standing there waiting for her at the end of the ride, like, still here, still willing to co regulate. I see what's going on. Do you care for my opinion? Right. But standing in the eye is that like calm, the calm to be reckoned with, right? And to say, like, I can stand here and see what everybody else needs. I can see the moments as they unfold. Um, I can name the chaos. And that feels so good sometimes. Because if you can't name the chaos, then it just names you.
That's not funny, but that's so accurate.
You know, it's very, very bad when that happens. But yeah. So you can dance in a hurricane only if you're standing in the eye. That's where I'm at.
I love that, and I now have a visual of you doing that
You know,
safely.
it's so funny. Um, so many people lately, I think maybe I'm wearing it on my face when I'm walking through my day, like, like a big sigh. And I think people are seeing the chaos that I live in, and they're seeing me step into my moments of being in the eye, being in the calm, and moments when I'm not quite there yet. And it's been interesting because people are really talking to me about it. How are you doing? I'm like, great. I don't know what to think about it, but it's appreciated.
Being authentic.
Yep. Yep. And when people see me for the chaos that is, I'm the chaos. I'm like the ringleader of the chaos circus a lot of the times. And when people see that, I sometimes I feel like, man, I've never felt more seen in my life. You just saw that and you see it from my perspective. Even this little teeny scotch. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. That's how about you? What's your
I
song?
have more than one, but I was gonna say I have another Halloween costume now in my mind of a ringleader. Um, okay, I need to like make running notes of movies, retreat, Halloween costume.
Yes, cheese
and
balls.
much,
T-shirts that we
much
will
more.
create.
Yes, when we're in the camper and we do
Huh.
video.
Yep. Chaos in the Camper is my first T-shirt. I can already see it.
And find your cheese ball.
Yes, but of course.
Maybe that could be on the back.
Hmm. I love it.
Um,
Sorry, your multiple song lyrics. What do you got?
also probably no surprise, the
Mm,
Tragically Hip,
nice.
no dress rehearsal, this is our life. I mean, oh God,
It's one of my
serious.
faves.
Yeah, like this is it. This is real. We don't get a dress rehearsal and then we go live. This is just live and
Yeah.
like do it. And then course correct when you need.
Yeah. Yep. Be self-aware.
And yes, yeah. Oh, Gord Downey, like, oh
Oh,
man, just amazing.
yep.
Um, and then the second one, I'm very different,
Hmm.
About Damn Time by Lizzo.
Yeah. So good. And very in keeping with our theme for this evening. Right on time.
Yes, yes, but I love both of them. So obviously, no dress rehearsal. This is our life. We talked about that, and About Damn Time, just about being stressed and still, you know, being better.
Yep. Oh, I love that. Being stressed and but being better. Yeah. Lizzo. So good.
Fallon said there was one lyric in there. I think she says like, "I need like two shots in my cup,"
Yeah.
and Fallon said thought it was um like doctor shots in my butt.
I knew you were going to say that.
And I was like, I didn't, like thinking of a perspective of a child who doesn't know like what a shot is, an alcohol shot is. I was like, what? Like,
Oh,
oh, I'm with you now. And
now
now
I'm
I
gonna
sing that. I sing it.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is forever
I
going to be
think
the lyric in my mind.
I think Lizzo would like it.
Yeah, I think so too. I was I can't. I was gonna say that I feel like those two lyrics and those two performers are a bit paradoxical, but then I actually think they're a lot the same.
Mhm.
Larger than life.
Badasses
Yeah, doing
overcome
whatever
a
they
lot.
want. Yes. So good choices. I like it. It's very good. Very good. I appreciate that.
Let's see. I did hear this is like a blue maybe makes our podcast explicit if I say
Oh,
this.
go for it. You just
I
said
don't
two
know if you've
shots in my
ever heard
butt.
this. I but a friend of mine said something and I was like, "Wait, what did you say?" And it was she was having like a tricky conversation with someone who was being really negative and she left the situation and said, "Bye, hope you have a shit-tastic day." And I was like, "I'm going to write this down because this is so amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that."
I love that. I always appreciate I hope you have the day you deserve. Somebody said that to me one time recently, and I was like, somebody I really respect. And I was like, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that because I can see where this one's headed. And do I deserve that? I'm not sure. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm not.
shit-tastic day.
Yeah.
It's great. So good. And like walking away, you say that walking away?
Yeah, and
So it's
like
like
your
a little,
chipperous voice. Hmm.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
I haven't
down.
tried it yet, but
Let me know how it goes.
loved it. And then
Be so
I did say
curious.
I was going to do a little shout out to a friend of mine, a little
Ooh.
friend of mine,
Oh.
who lives in Maine. And
Oh.
I was going to just say, "Hi, it's me, Jessica." And then I wouldn't say to her, I would say this, "I hope you have a fantastic day." The other one,
Yes.
because
Okay. Yeah.
she's
No.
young and she shouldn't know that for me.
Okay. Great. That's very
Do you want to do
sweet.
any shout outs or any?
I would, well, yes, it's very impromptu, but when we started this podcast, we said that it didn't matter to us who listened because it's for us. And that will remain for me throughout this journey, no matter where it takes us, for us and our kids someday. And it was so much fun to get some feedback from people that we love who listened. And so everyone who shared their thoughts and feelings about what we threw out there into the world, which, man, it's a little scary and very exciting. I see you and I appreciate you. That's what I
Oh,
want to say.
yes, I love that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks everyone.
Yeah. Super fun. And we're just getting started. So
Yay.
keep it coming. I will read only positive comments. So just so you know,
But you know what?
Mm.
If you're using the right language and tone, you can say anything to anyone.
You sure can. And maybe people will listen
Maybe.
if you're in that space. All right. Should we? It feels like this one went by in the blink of an eye, but should we head to our closing time, closing ritual?
What about do we do tool and takeaway?
No, we sure
Or
didn't.
okay.
So no, we shouldn't go there. Maybe you can edit that part out.
Course correct.
Right on time. Thank you for that. Just I scrolled too far down the page. Okay. Tool and takeaway. I believe this is mine, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Um, what's one question that listeners can ask themselves when something feels off time, too late, too early, you just kind of missed the mark? What do you think about that? Question
It's a good
listeners can ask
question.
themselves. Yeah.
I think something I ask myself when I'm unsure or something I think of, I don't know if I necessarily ask myself, but is I maybe you told me this, but like the opportunities will find you when you're ready or something like
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
Um, but one question that I ask myself, and I don't know that I would suggest this for other people, but um, is if I have two choices, I try to make it a yes and like how can I do a little bit of both? But if I have to select just one and thinking like, will I miss this? I tend to gravitate toward what will I regret less later?
Hmm.
And typically for me, that is trying the thing because then I have the information of either I hate it, that was a terrible choice,
Yeah.
but then I know and I'm not wondering. That's something my mom taught me. Gosh, I think I was in like middle school, and it really has helped me because I am a curious person.
Hmm.
And I think the curiosity would kill this cat.
Hmm. I sure hope it doesn't, but I get it. But I get it.
Thank
Well,
you.
and
What about you? You have some.
yeah, I think when it's a real crossroads about like, gosh, this doesn't feel right, didn't love the way that went, I say to myself all the time, Sarah, who's the person that you want to be? What would she do right now? Um, and I unfortunately, not unfortunately, I'm still practicing that a lot. And I think, like I said, in the last 4 years, a lot more than ever before. I'm finding myself getting through a moment where I go, ooh, that didn't feel like the right course. Can I go back and should I talk with anyone about what just happened? Because maybe my choice influenced them or impacted them in a way that I didn't love. Um, what would the Sarah I want to be do in this situation? So that's a big one for me. And then the other is just what I said in my opening, my check-in, the curiosity. Um, Sometimes it's out loud to myself if the situation is dire enough. And what can I do to be curious about this instead of being angry, instead of having this big, huge feeling? Um, and so that helps me to kind of course correct or come back down into a grounded space. And then um, I often find myself leaning into curiosity when I'm trying to understand someone else's take on a moment or needs in a given moment. I think something that as a leader and a principal I've had to work on is the speed at which I process a situation to then make a decision or make a supportive move, um, because it's needed, right? And I take a long time to process because I'm thinking a lot about every single player in the situation and how my choices are going to impact them or how choices that were already made by others in the situation have impacted them. And curiosity is really, it takes time, I think, in practice to get quick with that. But that's my experience anyway. And I think that leaning into the curiosity is what gets me through those moments. And on the other side, I'm like, oh, yeah, that is who I wanted to be, or close. I got close. And maybe next time it'll be better. So yeah.
I like that. I like that. It also reminded me of something that I actually do say to myself and to the kids, especially, but um, a question that I suggest to myself and to the kids when it's not a hard moment, because as I'm reflecting on this, I'm like, wow, I could have done this on Saturday at the basketball game in my chaos. Um,
Mhm.
but what's the harder thing to do right now?
Mm.
Because that's
Mhm.
probably the right thing.
Yep.
And that's really hard to do. It's easy to ask yourself the question, but to get into that self-awareness and then the next
Take action.
action. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is tricky. And it's so much easier to do this stuff when you're not on the roller coaster of feels, right? Like,
I hope so. I
man.
don't know what that's like. I've just been on
But
the
when
roller
we get
coaster
there,
forever.
we'll let you know. Oh god, that's so funny. I think maybe I'm just really tired because I just wanna laugh so much right now. It's so
Me
good.
too. Me too.
Ah,
Before we do closing,
mhm.
want to just chat about our photo shoot?
Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness. So for Jessica's birthday, as we I think had we already had the breakfast meeting where this podcast started to really come to fruition? Yes.
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 Yes. Because
And
that was
so
February.
I was like, gosh, what do I do for Jessica for her birthday? And I was like, I know what we need to do. Jessica's on this journey to become a life coach, and she's going to need some good, like, business cards, maybe a website. She needs some headshots. And I was like, well, I'm also not going to miss that fun time. So we went together last week with Kara Dyke out of her studios out of Lyme, New Hampshire. And she's just so fun. Just so
Hmm.
fun. She's got the cutest little studio with all kinds of options. And we went and did a photo shoot, and it was
And
wickedly fun.
oh my gosh. And we just laughed and laughed and laughed. There were some times where I was like, well, I can't take the photo because I have to wipe these tears from my eyes because I couldn't stop laughing.
Well, then some of the pictures show that, and it's like, well, that's not one we're ever going to use, but oh my goodness, that's hilarious. I don't know, maybe someday we will use them just because they're hilarious, but yeah,
There's
so
one that
good.
I really love where I'm making like a ridiculous face,
Mhm.
like looking at you and you're
Yeah.
looking straight on. And I was like,
Yep. I love that one so much. We're sitting on the ground, right? On that one
mm-hmm,
in the, yeah.
yep.
That was actually one of my favorites, if I'm
Oh,
being honest. Um, the acrobatics one was also a favorite of mine because it's just so silly. Um,
yeah. Talk
yeah.
about amazing birthday present.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's so practical and
But
also Fun.
unique and so fun.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh. And to
Hmm.
do it together, of course,
Yes.
exponential funds.
Yep. Well, and you all need to know that Jessica is like the world's best present giver. Um, you are one of the most thoughtful people I've ever met in my whole life. And you always hit it right on the head. And you're also a present giver because it's Saturday, or a present giver because I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. For all the reasons.
Because
And
it
you
made
just
me think of you.
yes, exactly. You just randomly show up with the love, and it's like, oh, that's great. And so to get you something really fun was and fun to look forward to
And fun to
because
look back on.
yes, I love it. I love it so much. So yeah, if you need pictures and you're local, hit up our girl Kara and go have a good time. Super fun. We
Yes,
even were there
and
talking about doing them in a month again because we
yes,
had so much
yes, we
fun.
were. Yeah, we'll just have like standing meetings over there.
And for this month's photo shoot,
We also
oh,
learned of another photographer in the area who is new to the area.
we did?
Um, yes, from our letter, but I don't know
Oh,
that it's okay that
yes.
we share it yet. So maybe we'll get permission
We'll
first
hold on
and
to that.
share in the
You're right.
next time.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Good call.
yeah.
I
Okay.
love that.
Well, closing time
Already,
already.
even though I tried to do it 15 minutes ago,
That was like pre game. Last call. That was last call.
it was. Oh, good job. Good job. All right. Do you
Okay.
want to?
So, what are you grateful for? I like the question, but it sounds weird. So I'm just going to read it and then bear
Yeah.
with me. What are you grateful for in me right now? And the question actually says, what are you grateful for in each other right now? Which I like the way that sounds better. But right
Yeah.
before we jumped on, I was like, is this what I'm supposed to
Hmm.
say? So
Yeah. I think
there you go.
it sounds great.
Thanks.
And I would say something I love about you, just everything, but th- when there's been a lot going on for both of us right now and our families and our friends, and I love that you'll say to me, here's the boundary of which I will discuss a particular thing. And then we say it, and then we're like, okay. And that was it. We packed it in the little box. We didn't ignore it. And moving on. I love that. I love that so much.
I love that you love that because it also this happened before, or you're talking about when we first jumped on
Yeah.
and I shared something and I said, I
Yeah.
don't really want to talk about it, but here's the news.
Yeah.
And now we'll move on. And
Yeah.
also it feels selfish because it
But it's
does.
not. I know why it feels selfish, but it's not.
Well, thank you for
That's
saying that.
that's asking for what you need.
And it's still hard.
It sure is. But you do it beautifully. I don't think you realize that. I'm also just grateful that I'm probably going to say this in every podcast episode. It will become a t-shirt that we're doing this together, making this time. I almost fell asleep with my kid before we were with Gordy Man before we got on. And I was like, buddy, I got to go. It's time for me to be on the computer. Um, and so, yeah, it's so worth showing up because I just adore you. So,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh, I'm not sure I can say something as meaningful.
of
Um,
course you can.
I agree to all of those things. And right now, this moment, I think the most accurate thing I'm grateful for you, of you,
Mhm.
um,
It is
is
a weird question.
I can get so focused in on the things that I have to do or want to do. And while that can be beneficial, it can also be maybe come off in a way that I don't really want to come off, like not very warm. And you really inspire me to like take a breath, think about like it's okay. to, in not because I told you I needed to get 9 billion things or any of that, but
Yeah.
just like your presence just does that for me. And yeah, it just like, gently walks me away from the ledge that I'm about to
Right.
probably trip and fall over.
I'm so glad. That's really
Yeah,
important to me.
definitely like doing it together, the
Mhm.
time and the commitment that we have to it, to all the things. I mean, I could
Yeah.
be here till, I don't even know what year it is, till 2050 saying all
Yeah.
the things.
I know.
Um, yeah, so fun. So fun and so grateful. And thank you for being you.
Same. Thanks for being my friend.
Well, the Cheers song would be so right.
Oh,
Is it Cheers?
yeah.
So good right here.
Oh,
But we will just imagine that.
uh-huh.
Okay.
I know.
Last thing. What is one thing you're intentionally going to do before our next episode?
I said I was going to journal and I didn't yet, but after our photo session, we did go get journals. So check to that. I'm proud of you for leading into your journal and actually doing that. So I'm going to try to stay committed to that. And I'm also going to continue working on my curiosity in moments that are challenging.
Love it.
Yeah, feels a lot better than being a crank pants.
I can't imagine that.
Oh, come on down.
No.
The
No.
water is not fine. What about
Maybe
you?
someday.
Yeah,
So similar. I'm gonna try to keep up the journaling and I'm gonna lean into the doing the hard thing, especially at the basketball tournament this weekend, because I am sure
I believe
there
in
are
you.
gonna be some moments where I should get a fake tattoo and write it on my hand so I look
Yeah,
at it all the time.
I love
Um,
it.
and I will have some, really good friends there to remind me to
Yeah,
show my
do
face.
yeah, do the hard thing. Well, and when you show your face, it maybe feels even more important to be true to you, right? Because
Mm,
there it is. There's your face tied to all the things that you say and do. And it's okay to be passionate about basketball games that your kids are playing in.
no, I would call it passionate, but thank you.
Where's the grandma with the lollipops? Do
Yes. I didn't get any lollipops last weekend. I don't know if she's coming, but I'm gonna bring my own lollipops
I
in
was
case
gonna
she's
say,
not there.
yeah, maybe that was part of the problem.
It wasn't talking very much.
To be a fly on the wall.
I know, I'm thinking of like who could we have as a guest to talk about how Jessica behaves at sporting events? Because it like a lot of times I'll say like, my dear friend will say, Here's a seat. And I was like, I can't sit. And she's like, I know you can't sit. I'm just like trying to be nice, you know.
Put your coat there.
Um, yeah, seriously. But
Oh, that's great.
I guess I'm glad I have the self-awareness that I can do a lot of improving.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
And just for background info, for the people who don't know and feel terrified right now, I only cheer good things. I clap
Yes.
when baskets are made, passes are made, people go in and out. I don't say any negative things. I just hold that all inside underneath my hat
And your hood.
in my hood. That was extra to have the hood over
Yeah.
the hat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have
That's okay.
sunglasses on, so that's a win.
Isn't it so funny? I actually pictured that you did, even though you didn't say that. I don't know. Oh,
I mean,
goodness.
because you know me.
Yeah.
In our 100 conversations in one conversation. The other day I was at Hannaford and I had my Jesus Crow hat on
Yeah.
and I was at a self checkout, and on the other side, there was someone checking out. And I thought I heard something. And then I looked up, and it was this woman who's like, I love your hat. And I was like, oh, thank you. This is a very special hat because sunglasses can fit under this hat. And she was like,
Yes.
she totally got it. She was like,
Yeah,
oh, that's awesome.
it's really a
So
magical hat because of
it
that.
is.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, me and hats, we have a hard time, but that hat is a good hat. Yeah, I just pictured you in sunglasses inside a basketball
I
game.
mean, we'll reconnect after the weekend and I'll let you know if that came
Okay.
out.
You're like, that would have been a good idea. Um, Sweet. Well, I hope the games go well. Where are you guys off to this weekend?
Portland, Maine.
Okay. Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah, this is the last one. It's sort of like the big one, but the boys have, they've only lost one game, so we're hoping that they'll
That's
have
incredible.
some maybe more
Playoffs.
evenly matched competition. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh no, they don't do playoffs after this. They just do this weekend, right? Or do they
right.
have a
Yeah,
play? Yeah. Okay.
yeah. Each
Never mind.
each weekend is a tournament,
Right.
and the after that, it's kind of like a fresh start each weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. That's great. Kind of nice juxtaposition of the season.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks, friend. Thanks for getting on
Thank
here.
you. I hope that you get a good night's sleep, and until next time,
Yeah. Connections in the chaos.
connections in the chaos. We'll see you
Love
in
it.
it.
Yes. Oh.